Good day. Thanks for stopping by the Bent Tool Garage. So I've been looking for a way to secure my helmet when I'm out for a ride and I stop somewhere. As a theft deterrent, I do have this carabiner style lock that you can actually loop this through your jacket. Can come up through your helmet and through one of the bars and lock it up. I guess that's a decent theft deterrent, but still doesn't secure the helmet from being blown off the bike. So, looking at this rear dresser bar, I thought I will try and order up a couple of the chrome helmet locks that you can find online, where you just you take your helmet D-rings and you secure it like that. It holds it on the bike. It's secure, it's not going to go anywhere, and it's a good theft deterrent. So I ordered up a couple of these Kuryakyn helmet locks. These are model 4220, and it fits 7/8 to 1 1/4 inch bars, which is the size of the bar I have back there by the saddlebags. And they do have a different model that goes from 1 1/4 up for different size bars. So let's unbox this thing here. Okay, so there we have it. Looks pretty good. Feels, pretty secure, not flimsy or anything like that. That's the bracket to go around the bar. So a little bit of, that's that range. It'll fit from 7/8 to 1 1/4. And there we go. The keys and the bolts. So this should be a pretty easy install. Let's go back over to the bike. Okay, so here we are on the right side. I'll start with this one here. Just going to wipe down the bar a bit with some cleaner. And much like the foot pegs I did in another video, this is going to be metal on metal. So once you tighten the clamp down, it could potentially leave marks. So try and make sure this is where you're going to want it for sure, and go from there. Okay, just to check out the mechanism before I go putting it on the bike. See if I can get this to focus here, but the hasp pops down like that. Key has to be in, looks like. Alright, so turn the key and close it back up. The screws they provide with the kit, they are one-way screws. So again, another reason, try and make sure you like the location, because once you tighten these up, it'll probably be very difficult to get them undone. For me, I want to be higher up on the bar, as high up as possible, to try and keep the helmet away from the exhaust if I can. Get these started. It is a little bit tricky to start these by hand. There we go. There we go. Just leave that a little bit not fully tightened yet. And then let's put this on here, see how that looks. There we go. So I originally looked at this location. I actually don't like this spot. Let me just zoom out a bit here. With the helmet hanging there on the right side of the bike, because of the way it's leaning, it's actually touching the exhaust, which, not sure if it'll be an issue, but probably better to keep the helmet off the exhaust, especially if you've been riding for a while. So I'm going to try and move this lock up farther on the bar, actually up on the horizontal part, and see if that gets it far enough away from the exhaust. So I learned this the hard way. Fortunately, I didn't tighten the screws up. Even so, it was still hard to get them backed out. I originally thought I would put it down in this position here, but when the helmet's hanging by the D-ring, it was touching the exhaust, and I didn't want the helmet touching a hot surface. So I'm going to move it up here. I checked, it doesn't really interfere with the passenger when they're sitting on the seat. So let's go ahead and tighten it down in that position there. And because of the one-way screws, I want to be extra sure that it's going to work before I tighten them down. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and, now that we've test fit the helmet, it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and take that back off. So we're happy with that position. So I'll go ahead and start tightening down the one-way screws. So this is it. Once it's tightened, that is it, unless you're going to drill out the screws. So let's make sure I get an angle that I like. Alright, now that it's all finally installed, let's just do the final check and see how it is. So we'll hook it by the metal D-rings. It would be a little bit easier if you could just push the hasp in without having the key turned, but that's the way it is. You do have to turn the key, so you need two hands there, but there you have it. Zoom out a bit here. That's it. The helmet is nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. Sits there nice. So I like it. I think it's worthwhile. Okay, so one of the things that I've read about these type of helmet locks is that they could rattle. And you can see the hasp here is a bit loose and it can rattle around. I'm not sure if I'd really be able to hear that over the motorcycle, but so I was thinking an easy way to solve that might be to just put some clear tubing over that hasp. Let's see if I have a clear size that's about right for that. Yeah, so that will fit over top. So I'll just cut that down to size. Okay, so I've put a little piece of heat shrink tubing there. I'll just shrink that down. Okay, with the heat shrink cool, let's see. That's definitely tighter. So it doesn't rattle around as much. And it still locks, if you can see that in there. is still latched on in there. So a little bit of clear heat shrink tubing seems to have done the trick. Thanks again for joining me at the Bend Tool Garage. I don't get paid, or these products aren't sponsored or anything like that. I'm just purchasing these myself and putting them on my own bike. So if you found it useful, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.